Okay, so this is exactly why I love this show so much. Old storylines that have been used over and over and over and over again for soap operas. It's what we're doing. They are literally using old soap operas storylines. No way to get around it. But they are putting a new fresh spin on it that actually has some soul seasoning laid right on top of it. And I love every moment of it and every morsel that is being eaten by us, the viewers. Yes, God, let's go behind these gates. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking in. I appreciate it. It is good to see y'all. Hey Fab, hey Blackberry, what is going on? Hey Taylor and Courtney, what's going on, y'all? Listen, when I say today that them babies was over there working for their supper, they were working for their supper. I enjoyed this episode so much. So much. I really did. I've been saying this the whole time. I knew that Chelsea was going to get kidnapped. I said that. I said that a long time ago. I knew she was going to get kidnapped. I know what that storyline looks like because I've lived through that storyline 957 times in my time on the planet watching daytime soaps and nighttime soaps. And I was waiting to see what were they going to do that was going to make it their own, which is what Beyond the Gates does so well. And they definitely did not. Where's my bracelet? Oh, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, Hershey. Somewhere around here. They didn't disappoint. They put their own on it, and I loved every minute of it. I loved every minute of it. We're going to get to it. But we got to do episode 118 and 119. So that's Friday, and then today, which was Monday. Friday, we were just gearing up. We were really gearing up. One thing I am going to say, Ted and Eva, one thing I am tired of with Timu Ted, I don't like that he keeps talking to Eva about her mother. I don't like that. I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me. We get it. I understand it. But every time they get together, you don't have to talk badly about her mother. And I think that that's just weak. I think that's weak on a mother or a father. If there's a parent that is not present, you don't look good talking badly about the other parent. And let me tell you something, it really doesn't do anything for you. It literally does nothing for you because all that will happen is that the child will resent you. The child will resent you. And then you'll know in your heart, because everybody's not going to do it like you. And this is coming from a person that adopted children. I adopted 2 children. And one thing that nobody can ever say, I have never spoken badly about any of their parents to their children. I would never do that. There's nothing to gain from that. There's nothing to gain from it. Now, I can't say that everybody did the same thing I do, but I'm responsible for me. I got to be able to look at me in the mirror. And I wouldn't to sit up and tell them anything about the background of their parent that doesn't put their parent in the best light. That just ain't no good look to me. It ain't cute. It ain't giving you no out. It don't make you no superhero. It don't make you look better in their eyes. If anything, it makes them side-eye you like, well, really? Really? So that's just my thing. That's something that I walk daily. Okay, I walk that daily. So every time I see it, it just kind of triggers me and it makes me feel a kind of way. And it was that we're 118 episodes in. I literally wrote it down here in my notes. I want him to stop talking badly about her mother. Stop talking to Eva about Leslie. What you and Leslie got going on, that's grown-up problems. Eva is the child. And I don't care how old she gets. She ain't gained a day on neither one of y'all. What y'all got going on and the hatred that you got a hatred for her because Leslie's still in love with you. It don't make you look no better, bro. Talk about her, especially not to her. It just ain't cute to me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And yeah, it just ain't cute. It ain't cute. Some of the dynamics of all of that is a hot mess. Even Kat and Leslie going back and forth triggers me. It's like, what is this? Leslie, that's somebody's daughter. That's his daughter. You battling with the daughter the way you trying to battle with the mother, but most of the time you can't get that out of the mother, but you can get it out of the daughter. So you're over there arguing with the daughter. How would you feel? See, because you got it flipped and you don't have to deal with it because Nicole don't treat Eva like that. But I promise you, if Nicole were to treat Eva the way you treat Kat, you be on some old crazy bullshit. So, I don't know. It's just the dynamics of all that. That whole storyline is very well crafted. It's very well crafted. And a lot of the nuances are so strapped in reality. That's what sets this soap opera away from some of the other soap opera. Because that's African-American diaspora. That's how we be getting it. That's how we be getting it out of here. Saying whatever you be saying, what you people be getting popped. You know, it don't be all that. You know, people be getting popped. First episode, what Danny do? Punched Haley dead square in the mouth. Is it right? At the time it was. Moving right along. So that is that. And then why would you invite Kat? I mean, why would you invite Eva to Kat's event? Get out of here, Ted. That's why we call you T-Moo Ted, because you're a boy. You really are. Like, they are sisters. They ain't trying to be sisters. Well, Kat ain't trying to be sisters. And you're just like pouring, you're just throwing Eva at Kat. She don't want to be bothered. She does not want to be bothered. And you would think that you would respect it. Eva was your mistake. She's not Kat's mistake. And you're not making anything better. You're not. You're really not. All of that is why you can't get your wife back. All of that is why your partner is over there trying to bang on your wife. Because you is the discount version. You clowning. Moving right along. Man, T-Moo Ted get on my nerves, y'all. T-Moo Ted works me. So here's the thing. We were watching Chelsea. Chelsea has a third eye that was telling her. Chelsea got a third eye just like Kat did. Something in that blood. And it come all the way down from Mama. Okay? It come all the way down from Mama. Chelsea could feel that something was not right. She spoke it. She spoke it out loud that something's coming. Something's going to happen. This is not just going to just go over like it's supposed to. It just was on her. It was weighing on her that something was coming. And people, you need to pay attention to that because some of us actually do have that heightened sense of whatever that is. I don't know exactly what it is. Everybody's not a prophet. Okay, so don't start that bullshit. Everybody ain't a prophet. Everybody's not a soothsayer. But there are a lot of us who do have a heightened sense of what's to come. Call it a gift. Call it protection. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from, but I speak from shoes. I'll just leave it at that. Some of us have a heightened sense of, and you need to listen to it. Nobody needs to tell you you're one of those people. You know. And if you just scan your timeline, you'll know that every time you don't listen to that little voice, what happens? Something that ain't got no business happening. Hi, Wally. What's up? How you, baby? Welcome to the room. But yeah, I mean, when you don't listen to that thing, whatever that little voice is, whatever that little still voice is for you, when you don't listen to it, I promise you, whatever it is that it's trying to steer you away from is going to tear your ass up. You could do what you want to do. I don't play no games. I'm telling you, I've jumped literally off of 376. And y'all from Pittsburgh, y'all know what 376 is. I've jumped off the Parkway, off of 376 on my way. I'm on my way to DC, and something said, not this weekend, not this weekend. And thank God, my bestie, my brother, Chat, he knows when that stuff started happening with me, and he don't get too bent out of shape. But we had planned everything, took vacation. I took my vacation. He had took some stuff and all of this and planned. And I'm literally in the car on my way. Something said, get your ass off of this. And I hit it, baby, and come on right on back to the north side. I was living on the north side of town. Hit it, got back to the north side, called him on the phone. So, I ain't coming. Was he disappointed? Yes. Was he irritated? I'm sure. But it is what it is. Whatever it was that was waiting on me that I wasn't supposed to encounter, I wasn't encountering. I went and took my ass on back home. So I don't know. But Chelsea was struggling with that whole time. All through that episode, she kept struggling with it. Then we see the whole thing with Bill. Bill is running to her and Madison together, and she pulling up. You still ain't gonna tell your daddy that you like to play with the girls. And you've told everybody, like she's just been cool. I think everybody has that one person that they just don't want to tell, And for me, it was my godfather. Like I don't know what I thought my godfather was going to say or feel. My godfather was so goddamn unbothered. It was because I'm telling you, when my godmother because my godmother, here we go. My godmother brought it up, and she didn't just bring it up. My godmother literally just heard. And my godmother, she's not dramatic. My godmother's like chill. She's like chill. She really is. She chill. My godmother don't really like confrontation. She don't like bullshit. She likes peace. She really does. She likes peace. Well, she wasn't feeling so peaceful this day, okay? She wasn't. I said, what is this lady? I want to choke her. My godmother, I conveyed some of it to her. She didn't just go in there. I mean, like, I never had to tell nobody that I was gay. I never had to tell nobody that, child. They was able to tell me. Because literally, I've never been in a closet other than to put an outfit on or to change an outfit. That's it. I've always been unapologetically me. So that wasn't it. It was just the whole thing that I basically was hanging out now, and I had met gay friends. He didn't know any of that stuff. So she went with the whole kerpow. He come down the steps. He on his way to the kitchen. She just busts out of nowhere. She gonna show this man that I'm named after, because I am named after my godfather. The James, that James, my government, that comes from my godfather, not my biological. That don't come from him. The James in my name come from James George. That is my godfather. I am named after my godfather, okay? By his request, okay? It means something, okay? So, my biological, my stepdaddy, none of that I wasn't worried about none of that. But my godfather, she busts out, show him the drag picture and says, you know who this is? I'm sitting there. You talking about want to crawl up underneath the table? Up underneath the table. Now that was, I'll have to say that is the one time, and it only been one time. Because I'm a whole bitch at heart. It's the one time that it didn't matter that, baby, that picture, I was killing it. I was fabulous on the picture. That shit didn't even, none of that wasn't even register. I was mortified. I was mortified. I wanted to crawl under the table, but I ain't even built like that. So I sat right on up there, honey, and looked the big James in his face, honey. And he looked at her and said, what's wrong with you? You think I don't know my godson when I see him? And baby, pressed on to the kitchen. I said, that's that. That's that, and that's the fuck all. Period. And never mentioned it again. He never mentioned it again. Was what it was. Never mentioned it. Never said nothing. Never said that he didn't agree. None of that. My godfather has done backdrops and stuff for me when I did pageants, and child, right on board. It didn't matter what I did. As long as I was successful at doing it, my godfather was that dude. He was that dude. And I promise you, he had no ties to the LGBTQ, honey. He ain't had no gay friends, ain't sitting around talking to no gay people. None of that. I'm as gay as it gets when it comes to him. But he was so unbothered with that. My stepdaddy, straight dude, street dude. Didn't give a damn. Didn't give a damn. That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. The men in my life loved me for me. I wasn't, picked upon by the men in my life and degraded and all of that thing. So all the things that you hear about, that ain't all of our story. That is not all of our story. And when you get a gay that's as gay as I am, it's not always because there's no male representation. I had plenty of male representation around me, loving male representation. Never males who try to make, the adult males that try to make me feel lesser than. Now, I had cousins and stuff that used to try it, baby, and then you already know what the outcome is. Pip, pop, bim, bam. Wop, 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 wop. I'm going to do my stuff. But the males that were adult, I ain't had none of that stuff going on. Anyway, I shared all that because I just felt like it, because it's my channel, period. Now I'm going to get down off my soapbox, but don't bam it, and I'm back. But yeah, I was mortified with my godmother, but she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. I think she was just trying to show me something. My godmother has a certain way of doing things. Like I said, she likes peace. That's just her. Anyway, moving on. But Chelsea, I'm really shocked at the fact that Chelsea and the whole Bill thing, like she was really afraid to tell Bill. And then she announced Madison, oh, my friend. I was like, ooh, girl, that cut like a knife, my friend. And, I was really questioning. I told y'all, I've been questioning Madison all the way up to this point. Like, I've been looking at Madison like, I don't know, something about you. I just say, But baby, when I tell you that Madison came through for me in episode 119, now I am totally Team Madison up in this piece. I am Team Madison. I loved this. I fell in love with the show all over again this afternoon. I'm telling you, they worked for their supper today. Their acting was on point. They were in, and they drew me in. It was so good. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we got that whole thing. Then Kat and Leslie, because Friday was a good one. I just was busy this weekend because I could have came and talked to y'all about Friday. Friday was good. Kat and Leslie had a run-in with Eva, and Kat literally embarrassed herself because she doesn't know about she didn't know all the details about the money situation. And she was given that whole, girl, you don't have any money. We have all the money and you don't belong here. And they was sitting there looking at her like, are you sure about what you're saying, honey? They was kikiing and laughing at her in her face. And who was sitting over there? Oh, goddamn square head, box head ass Tomas sitting there. I said, you always are a part of the demise that is Kat. You are always there. Like you do some stuff to help her along. But when it comes to Eva and Kat, you always seem to fall on the edge of them versus Kat. I'm so sick of him. I am so sick of him with the bad pain. If you don't get your ass out of here. I'm so sick of him. I cannot wait till they drop somebody down in here to sweep her up off her feet and get her away from him. I'm just tired of it. Anyway, moving on. Last thing from this episode, when Nicole told her mother She had this little conversation with Anita, and she told her, she said, Mother, I know you're trying to hold it in, and you really just want everything to just quiet down, and you just want it to just go away. But it ain't getting ready to be like that, Mother. It's not. She said, Leslie is not going to stop any more than I am. Now, did y'all catch what was said? Leslie is not going to stop any more than I am. She said, girl, she's going to keep coming at us, and I'm going to eat her ass up. I said, come through, Nicole. Come through, Nicole. So get rid of Timu Ted. Nicole going to be okay. I think she's done with all that that misfired anger at her family members and all that mess. I think she's done with that. She just got to get up off of Andre's back, because I ain't feeling that. Her and Timu Ted going to get up off of Andre's back. I give Andre enough trouble. They're going to have to get up off of Andre's back, because he don't deserve any of the treatment that he's gotten from his aunt and his uncle. None of it. Because he was running pipe to your sister. Girl, your sister called the plumber. What you mad at him for? It is your sister that called for the work. It is your sister that got the invoice. It is your sister that was grinning and smiling when the plumber's crack came out. I'm just saying. Moving right along to episode 119, which was today. And it was just so fantastic. And like I said, a whole spin put onto an old storyline, because the storyline is very misery. They took the misery thing, the whole handcuff to the bed. Well, yeah, and 18 is when, oh, girl, we knew who it was. We knew it was Allison. Had literally, she even took her the way I thought she was going to take her. I thought she was going to cover her mouth, and I just could see it. I just knew it was going to happen. Cover her mouth, knock her out, drag her out. I knew all of that. I knew all of that before we even got to it. I said, okay, here we go. Cool. And then she's crazy as cat shit. So, you know, she got some strength about her with her big mouth self. Honey. That's one thing that I keep looking at her. Every time I look at her, I'll be like, oh, this big mouth and all this red lipstick. I said, yeah, you crazy as hell. She just, I ain't even want to say the name that I wanted to call her right then, because that ain't politically correct. I'm trying to do better. But yeah, that big mouth and all that red lipstick, I was like, I ain't never trusted her. And she got shifty eyes too. Anyway, so there's this black girl magic thing that happened in the first one who came through, because we got her all locked up, chained up, and all of this here. She didn't came to, we figured out it's Allison and all that. She's basically about to crash out, okay? Chelsea, because again, you know, just pamper princess, she ready to crash out. And she gets to daydreaming. And here comes Mama Danny, okay? Mama Danny. Baby, that scene, I literally, when I say that I got like emotional at that scene when Danny came through, that scene was everything. It totally tipped us off to what was getting ready to go on and how they were getting ready to spin this. And when I say I got a little emotional, because I was so excited about how they were doing it, and I wanted to know what they were going to do to make it different. I loved it. But Danny played the shit out of her role, and she was keeping it Danny. Like, she stayed Danny. They had the fog in the scene, so you knew she was daydreaming. But when Danny was talking all this fashion talk to her and basically telling her, girl, read the room, play your part. You know how to do this. Listen to what this hoe is saying. Pull from her. Use her. Use her. Use her. And get what it is that you need. Then, baby, the next one that came through was Kat. And Kat killed it. When Kat told her, you're smart. Remember, you know how to manipulate people. What does she know that you need to know? I said, you better talk, Kat. Come on, Kat. Now, you need to go do the same thing with Boxhead. But it was right on. I said, all this black girl magic And all it was her just tapping into her subconscious of all the things that all the women in her life have been teaching her and pouring into her this whole time, her whole life, basically. And I was living for it. And then they even threw in her dad, threw Bill up in there, baby. And Bill told her, I'm coming. I just need you to buy me some time. And if need be, help me somebody. That damn Bill, if need be, uppercut, weave, and left hook. Took her right on back. If you need to whoop this hoe's ass, please do so. Please do so. Whoop her till I get there. I said, okay, Bill. I was screaming. Do you hear me? Screaming. I said, come on here. Then here come Graham. I said, okay. Here come Graham. Told her, girl, listen, read the room and adapt to your surroundings and know that nobody just snatches up a Dupree. We're coming. I said, oh, yes, indeed. And then I'm sitting there, and the whole time, and Madison, because they played it out through the whole hour. I loved it. Madison came through, and this is when I fell in love with Madison, because I ain't trusted Madison. I thought Madison had something up with her and all. When Madison came through with the 1-2, when it was really getting rough, and said, calm yourself down, pay close attention. And I love you. I got you. Somebody loves you. I said, somebody loves you, baby. Whoa. Now go back to what your dad said, whoop her ass. I was like, yes. So I fell in love with Madison. Madison, in real time, was over there at the house. Baby, Madison was the MVP. Because Madison was on it. When Madison is smart, she was emotional at first. She had to get herself together. And they told her, you need some, they gave her some alone time. And then Madison came back, baby, with all the details. She was down to the bones with the details and she had to clear her mind. And then she was dead on. She was like, this is Allison. And baby, she started putting all the pieces down for him. I said, yes, Madison. Madison was the MVP. Totally the MVP. I said, okay. Then you got Bill and Danny. I said, this was one of them lines when Danny told him, I want you to do what it is you do and bring my girl back here. He said, the handcuffs are off. She said, handcuffs are off. And she told Bill, scorch the earth if you have to. I said, yes, God. I was loving it. And Haley, girl, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered, Miss Haley. Your days are numbered. Girl, by the time we get to the end of this storyline, your life is going to look different. I promise you. So I was like, all right. So everybody's doing what they're doing. Then we got Kat. Kat was doing her thing. Usually Kat is the third eye girl. But Kat pulled through and said, Edie? Who the hell is a damn Edie? Her and Madison together. I said, that ain't nobody but old girl. They are literally dead on. See, she crazy. And she done made up a whole persona online, but there's holes in it. See, let me tell y'all something. This stuff hit home. I deal with this stuff on a daily basis. I'm not going to go real deep right here with y'all about it. But don't ever, when I say that they, over there at Beyond the Gates, they be having some real life conversations back in their room. This shit, I deal with this shit every day. These trolls that you see on YouTube and not to be dropping down, these trolls is deep. They are deep. They are not, it's not as innocent as what you think. Some of these people really got some real issues. Some of these people, no, you're not no star. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You don't know what you are to somebody else on the other side. And I promise you, when I say this ain't far off from what really be going on, how people be following you and be all in your stuff and trying to find out all kind of stuff about you, you won't be done had to do nothing to them. Some of them are posing as though they like you and they don't like you, and they really have a hate for you, and it is real in the field. And they were dead on with all of this, everything about how she did it. And I was loving it when they were literally peeling it apart, because the ones that ain't got good sense, they can't follow through. They always bust themselves because they can't keep up with the facade. They can't keep the charade up. But I just ain't going to go real deep, but I promise you, on a daily basis, grinning and smiling. And just believe this, everybody who is grinning and smiling and cheering you on, sitting on the front row, everybody on the front row is not wishing for your good. Everybody on the front row is not for you. And doing social media, you need to know that there are some real whack jobs out here posing as regular people. They just as loose as Christmas gooses. Promise you. I promise you. I could go real deep, but I'm not going to do it right now because that's not for this broadcast. But I promise you, I wouldn't lie to you. Complete nutballs. And you just have to keep your wits about you. And you got to try to stay ahead of the 8 ball. But that's part of the job. You knew it was a rough job when you took it, Mr. Colwell. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But the shit is real. It's real in the field. So again, all that was touching on that Edie person, how she created it, and Kat was picking through. Kat and Madison together, I was so in. Now, this last little part, just to see how crazy she was when Chelsea finally get herself together, and then this fool and made a dinner and all this old kind of carrying on, and she just slipped over to this, oh, we're going to leave from here and we're going to go here, and oh, I'm good, and ain't nobody going to track me and ain't nobody going to trace me. One thing I'm going to say about this, Miss Chelsea, you're doing it. You're getting all of your black girl magic stuff. You're getting it. You got your messages, but she's so goddamn mad that she's so goddamn mad at the fact that this hoe has even had the bold thought that she could pull this off. Chelsea mad as hell, and she keeps snapping at her. I'm like, that ain't going to do you good. This snapping at her, you got to pay attention. You got to work her, and snapping on her is not working her. And you can see when you really talk to her, and her thoughts be twisted because it's just crazy. She really ain't all there. She really is not all there. So I can see why she made certain mistakes, that are going to trip her up and all of that. But how crazy she is when they sent out to that gentleman, she's going to say, we're going to start afresh and anew. And she's going to say, Chalison. Did y'all catch that? When she said Chalison, going to mix her name with Chelsea's name, like they get ready to be something. I said, girl, you are crazy as Dick's hat band, bitch. You are a nut. A whole nut. Okay? When she told her, I said, damn, Chelsea. When she said, my family is coming for me. You need to know it. You need to know it. And she gonna say, uh-huh. When she tried to kiss her, she said, girl, bye. That old nasty red lipstick all on my face. She had it all on the face. She said, girl, my family's coming for me. You're going to be so sorry, honey, because my family's coming for me. Then she's going to say, yeah, so let's cheers to that. I said, And girlfriend was getting all mad, and she said, uh-huh, and then threw that red wine in her face. I said, now, I lived, I got my life, I screamed, but I was like, that was not a good move, because you sitting there with a whole fool, you still chained to this bed, and they trying to get to you, but they ain't there yet. They ain't there yet. And then she threw that drink in her face, and Crazy going to wipe it off and say, the lady at the store said that this wine was. I said, oh, she good and crazy. Then, baby, she said, okay, and she pulled a Teresa Giudice at him and kicked the whole goddamn table over. Food and all. I said, she said, look at and everything I did, and you're over here just being an ungrateful bitch, I said. She sat over there like, and did, you know? And I said, okay, Chelsea, you got to pull it in. You got to pull it in. I'll give you a little space, Chelsea, but you got to pull it in. But Chelsea is so goddamn mad. She is truly so goddamn mad at her. She really going to uppercut her and hook her before it's all over. This was so good. It was so good. It was like watching Misery. It was so good. So good. And then, last thing before I get out of here. When they're doing all their little stuff, and they got all the little stuff in place, and they doing it all. And of course, you got Martin over there. Now, Martin was literally going for the whole thing with Samantha, and he was on board. He had got on board. Baby, now that this didn't happen, he is totally off board. Samantha can forget it. It's over. She can forget it, baby. It's done. But just when you thought they had pulled out all the stops and they got it all going on, one thing you cannot do ever, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to take my leave. When some shit goes down at Fairmont Crest behind those gates, do not ever think that the last words will not be said by Vernon and Anita Dupree, better known on this broadcast as Mama and Papa Dupree. Baby, he said, oh, no, I got one more thing I got to call in. I got a friend with the FBI. And she called off the name and said, oh, yes, you want me to ride with you? I said, come on, Bonnie and Clyde. I said, well, okay, baby, the FBI. Listen, Miss Allison, girl, they coming for you, girl. They're coming for you. And it's not going to end pretty. Haley, it's over, girl. You're going to be on the outs. Sorry about it. Anyway, listen, y'all. I'm out of here. This was the best Monday of the show, and I don't know when. Oh, it was so good. I'll see y'all. I'll probably see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Bye.